What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Understanding the Reason. I'm your host, Jerome Majette. So happy and grateful that you guys are tuning in. Before we get started today, we got a lot to cover, but before we get started today, please like, share, and subscribe. Man, it's just been wonderful listening to your comments. Thank you, and keep them coming. Thank you for bringing them, and keep them coming. Okay? All right, man. Oh, somebody asked me a question, right? Somebody asked me a question. One of my personal friends was like, man, you just being yourself on that thing. I said, man, listen, I can't be nobody else. So thank you guys for just accepting me, man, for who I am. And let's dive right on in there, right? Okay, so the last time that we were chatting it up, man, we were talking about, angels, right? And there's a misperception about angels that, we want to look at what the scripture says, right? Because we've been taught that angels are, light beings or spirit beings and that type of thing, and that they don't really have like a material body, like they don't have flesh. Obviously, they don't have flesh and bones like we have, but they're not material. Okay, but that's not what the scriptures actually bring out. So let's go ahead and start with our reading. If you have your notebook, gotta get your notes. Go ahead and jot down Genesis chapter 6, verse 1, 2, and 4. And this is what it says. Now, the population explosion took place upon the earth. It was at that time, or this time, that beings from the spirit world looked upon the beautiful earth women and took any they desired to be their wives. In those days, and even afterwards, when the evil beings from the spirit world were sexually involved with human women, their children became giants of whom so many legends are told. Now, I gotta go back to the book, right? So this is my book, Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It. Please pick up your copy, but check this out, man. We're gonna read in here. Listen to this. What this scripture is disclosing is remarkable because it reveals that angels, the angelic class, is able to materialize. Now, when it talks about the physical contact between the angelic beings and the human beings, human women, you can't you gotta concede you gotta concede that a couple of things have to be present. Number one, you gotta have a body, right? You can't have sex without a body, right? And then you gotta have the body parts. If you understand what I'm talking about, right? So this is remarkable, man. That this would even be recorded in scripture. That being said, we can conclude with these phrases: took any they desired to be their wives, and the evil beings from the spirit world were sexually involved with human women, as literal statements of fact. The event itself dispels the idea that angels are not able to materialize, and based on what the scriptures is telling us, the union between the corrupt angels and human women produced offspring. And these offspring were called giants. So how can we kind of, source this out a little bit? Because let's continue. So, though this was a violation of the law of reciprocity, and we're going to get into that law a little later on. It's fascinating. I mean, it's fascinating. It just knowing that blew my mind, right? All of this is blowing my mind. I hope you're getting something out of it, man. So let's keep going. All right. So though this violation is a violation of the law of reciprocity, the Nephilim, which are the giants that were referenced, were birthed into the world, and tales of their exploits made them revered as legends of the ancient world. So, just reading on, we're heading down a very interesting but entirely different path. Very difficult to actually imagine this thing, man. Like, these angels looked at human women and lusted after them. That I don't know about you, but I've never heard that in any church. Never heard that in church. So continuing on, where did we leave off? We're heading down a very interesting but entirely different path. At this point, I will not go any further, but several credible discoveries of skeletal remains of giants have been found throughout Greece, the Middle East, as well as other parts of the world, including the United States. All of them verified the information disclosed in Genesis on this subject. What is more intriguing is that the discovery of these phenomena has been concealed from society by those who would do anything to keep them from the public. Wow. So we're getting into something, man, that's like, it hasn't even been disclosed. They don't even want you to know about this. And possibly the reason they don't want you to know is because it points to the veracity of Scripture. It actually lets you know that, hey, man, there's more to this life than just, what we experience every single day of our lives, right? There's a lot more that's beyond our understanding, right? So that's the reason why it took me 18 years to write this book. I mean, I looked at all kinds of data, and I'm telling you, it is absolutely fascinating. Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So here's a book that I want you guys to look at if you can find it still in print. The book I came across when I was doing the research on this particular topic is a book that's titled Genesis 6 Giants, Master Builders of Prehistoric and Ancient Civilization. And it's by a gentleman by the name of Stephen Quayle. Stephen Quayle, you might want to look him up. The correct spelling of his name is Stephen, and Quayle, Quayel. Again, the main point I'm establishing here is that the angels that fell with Satan may have hit the earth in a material form, causing massive damage that released a deluge of water described in the Bible. So here's the conclusion of the matter, okay? If these angels that looked upon these women, gave up their heavenly estate, came down here, copulated with these women, got them pregnant, had babies, these babies grew to be giants, right? That proves that they had some kind of physical body, because you gotta have that. Right? You got to have that, and you got to be able to utilize that to copulate with women. You got to have the pieces, the parts, right? So that speaks to the tangibility of these spirit beings, these evil spirit beings. And then you take that, what we just learned, and you match that with the fact that they were flung to the earth like lightning. They hit this earth like lightning, causing massive damage. And that's where our water supply came from. And that's where the bubble God created came from. And man, we're going to tap on this thing. We're going to go here. We're going to get into it a little bit more. We're going to get a little deeper than we have been. So, man, we're getting somewhere. So I hope that this is really helping you guys, man. If you have questions, comments, anything, put it in the comment section. I love hearing your comments. If you have some other resources you want to turn us on to, we're open to take a look, man, because I'm telling you, why are we here? Why are we here? That's the purpose of what we're doing on these videos, man, to help us understand and get closer to the truth of why did God, who is a spirit, create physical matter. So you guys, thank you so much again for tuning in, man. I love having you here. Thank you again. You guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to pick up a copy of my book. And if you purchase the book or merchandise and you send me a selfie on Facebook Messenger, I'll make sure to put you on the tail end of one of our videos. Stay tuned, because we're going to have a shout out to somebody that we really appreciate their support, okay? Thank you again. You guys have an awesome day. Love you guys sincerely. Peace.